today, Citizen Smith driving across America. It's nice to talk to somebody because being alone in a 3,000 mile drive is lonely and you yearn for conversation. I had a great sleep last night. I stayed at a Motel 6. This is my second Motel 6. It was very nice, clean. It was the most expensive one at $69. The rates have been really good. $55 for the Motel 6 in Illinois and $59 for a day's inn. Those are pretty good rates, I think, as I'm traveling in the off season, so that helps. But you know, you're watching your budget. I am on this, and I stayed across from a really big truck stop here in Nebraska. So I'm driving through the great state of Nebraska, and I was eating at the Thunder Grill, and there was all truckers there. And one thing I noticed is they looked really tired, and they were all really heavy, man. I mean, they put on pounds in this job, big time. So I was thinking, yeah, you know, it's not the most healthy job being a truck driver. You sit for 12 hours, maybe more, in that truck all day driving, and then you eat at a takeout or a diner like the Thunder Grill, which, by the way, I had a great meatloaf and an awesome Nebraska craft beer nut brown ale. It was really delicious. One of the best beers I've had is a craft brewery. Very impressed. Nebraska, who knew? And I was thinking, wow, being a truck driver is not a healthy job. You sit all day, you eat fatty foods, then you lie down in your truck for the rest of the night, then you're up early, it's stressful. You have to make the hours of driving. You're in all sorts of conditions. So as you drive and you see all these trucks, it's like going by right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interstate 80 is truck city. I mean, this is the highway of trucks. And 92 is big. But this Interstate 80 going west is loaded with trucks and truck stops. And these truck stops are huge. But Nebraska's good for driving and knocking out good miles. It's very flat. I mean, there's no hills here. There were some hills in Iowa and Illinois, but not in Nebraska. So I'm logging it all the way through Nebraska today into southern Wyoming, which I'm looking forward to. Hopefully the scenery starts to get a little more interesting. We should be seeing mountains. The Continental Divide's coming up. I will profile that on Citizen Smith driving across America. So, blue skies, great weather, and I can't ask for any better temperatures. 55 degrees yesterday was the high. Right now it's 47, and it's 9:30 in the morning, Nebraska time. Blue skies, cornfields everywhere. I read a narrative on a pull-off service area in Iowa just before Interstate 29, which goes north, and it's their scenic route. And I was looking at the scenic route, and they have wineries in Iowa, quite a few. And when I was interviewing the Winery Association, the Willamette Wineries Association executive director, she told me that there's wineries in every state in America. And I was thinking, even in the Midwest? Iowa. They had a bunch of them. I was going to visit one, but I kept driving. Kind of regret it now. But I'll see if there's a winery in Nebraska. There must be. She said there was. But I know there's craft beer. And I had a highlight of my nature moment driving through Iowa was I saw a bald eagle flying over at milepost 200 just before that. And I looked up, and there was a lone bird with a bright white head and those massive wings that I'm quite familiar with from living in Alaska. And I was like, that's a bald eagle flying overhead in Iowa. So they must have a population there or some found habitat there, which I thought was really interesting. These are the things you look forward to when you're driving alone for 3,000 miles. There was also the narrative that said on the service area about how Lewis and Clark came out here to see what was going on after the Louisiana Purchase by order of the government. And it was all wilderness, prairies, buffalo, grizzly bears, And it mentioned in the narrative display about picture what this place was like 200 years ago. All wilderness, the way Lewis and Clark found it. And I was thinking that because as you look at these hundreds and thousands of miles of agriculture, farms, corn, wheat, you think this was all wilderness at one point. And a large portion of American land is agricultural devoted. We've gotten rid of, as they said in the display, we plowed over the land, we built endless roads as far as the eye can see. What would it must have been like when it was wilderness? And I think that too when I'm driving through all this agricultural land. So much of it. I wish we would have preserved some of the wilderness better. If I have to fault us for one thing, I think the secretaries of interiors over the decades didn't put enough pride into the protection of wild lands in America. Did we really need all of this agriculture? I know we're the breadbasket of the world, but geez, we got rid of a lot of wilderness. There are sporadic reserves here and there as you go through Illinois, Iowa, even Pennsylvania. They have wilderness up north there, but the vast majority of land in America in the interior is farmland. So, but keeps our plates full, right? But we lost a lot of wild animals and wild places in the process. That's my thought for today as I drive down I-80 West. Starting to get a little mentally tired. Another long haul today. I can't wait till this journey's over and I'm back in my apartment in Portland, Oregon. I don't think I'm ever going to go on a road trip again. From here on in, after this, I'm flying. So that's it for today's Citizen on the Road report. Driving across America. If I find something interesting or some people to talk to, I will certainly do so. And stay tuned for all those segments and episodes on TalkCastPDX.com. So long. See you tomorrow as we head through Wyoming to Utah and the Great Salt Lake.